Hello, everybody. Happy Friday. Hope that you are well. We are here, Kevin Gallman and I, for a little bit of a change of pace. We wanted to try something different here on a Friday. We've been doing, of course, our Edmentum, Illinois presents Friday Fact, Fiction, Fuzzy. We've had a variety of outstanding guests throughout this school year talking about things that they've learned during a very, very different school year. And also, of course, things that made them happy and proud and questions that are still out there. So we wanted to change things up just a little bit here today, where we're going to reflect a little bit, the two of us. And then after that, we're going to give you a little bit of a preview of not only what's coming for the rest of this school year, but then also what we're thinking about for some new features for our YouTube channel for the fall. Kevin, how are you, sir?
I am fantastic. Jason, first let me turn down the volume on my computer. Your shirt's pretty loud there, so.
Yeah, well, I wanted to, I had to liven things up a little bit, in comparison to your Oxford shirt that you wear every week.
I think it's been on 8 Friday Fact Fiction Fuzzies so far. So
probably. So I wanted to give everybody something else to look at.
I appreciate that. So, Jason, what's one takeaway? We've had several of these interviews. They've been great. What's something you have taken away from our time?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest takeaways for me in talking with educators from across the state is really this idea of finding the positives, finding things that worked for kids, that worked for families, in an absolute unique year, and then reflecting on those things, talking with their team about those things, and then really thoughtfully considering what do they want to continue in their local school or in their district moving forward after things get to this new normal, whatever that might be. What are the things that worked? What are the things that schools and districts learned this school year and have seen to be effective? And then how can they replicate those things moving forward? Innovative things, progressive ideas, but again, really at the core, how are those things going to best meet the needs of their kids, or perhaps better meet the needs of the kids in their district? Kevin, how about you? What would be a takeaway, something that you've learned as we've been talking with folks this year?
Well, I love the theme you mentioned. I think that it is indicative of educators always looking for the learning opportunity. I think that that's been so encouraging to see. At the same time, I think one of the biggest encouragements I've seen is that the emphasis on people has been prevalent in every discussion we've had. And we're an educational technology company. We love our programs. We think they're fantastic. But at the end of the day, what we do is enable people to do their job better, and for kids to be educated in a way that is more effective. And I think that the emphasis on people is what has been brought out in the pandemic, and the role of the teacher, the role of the administrator, and how much that leadership, whether it's in the classroom, whether it's in conversations with parents, or if it's being a parent themselves, it's always about interaction and how we relate to one another. And that's been a takeaway that has just been a reminder through this time.
One of the things that we pride ourselves on as an organization, I'd say, KG, would be the idea of our people. We're very proud of our people, and I think as a company, and I think that we've absolutely heard the exact same things from local educators, local school leaders who have really just been so impressed with their people and proud of all of the efforts that they've done in a variety of different ways, whether it's just taking care of kids and families' basic needs, or it's or it's the idea of advancing their learning, whether it's social emotional or whether it's academic. So I think that that's absolutely been a theme as well. Now, KG, I know we're kind of kicking around some ideas for the fall, and we want to get some feedback from everybody, our regular subscribers and our listeners to our segments here on the Edmentum, Illinois YouTube channel. I know we're kind of thinking about some things. One of the things that we've thought about for the fall would be this idea of what are you reading? I think that one thing that you and I hear quite frequently from folks, and we see on Twitter and other social media outlets, is this idea of people sharing ideas, things that they're learning as they're reading a variety of different books, whether they're education related or they're not education related. So I know that that's one of the ideas that you and I have been talking about, is showcasing leaders across the state again, and asking them, hey, what are you reading? What are you reading, and what are you learning from that? And maybe then recommending some of those selections to other leaders or other educators across the state. And KG, I know we've talked about some other ideas too.
So I think when we hear from the thousands and thousands of subscribers and viewers that we get to interact with, another constant is that educators are always solving problems, and bringing educators around the same problem and finding ways for people to connect in a way that is around a topic. And we've heard it continually. I think that being more specific around topics, it could be something we could look forward to in the fall. Any other ideas?
Yeah, the other one I know that we talked about is just sort of things, again, that are continuing into fall 2021. Lessons learned from school year 2021. And again, building on that trend that we had been hearing about, what are the things that are going to stick? What are the new practices that started this year that educators want to continue on into the future? We're, of course, going to have very, very catchy titles for all of these various segments. And we're going to put it out there for educators to say, hey, I really want to tell everybody about a book that I'm reading, or I really want to tell you about a problem that we solved for, or I really want to tell you about something that we learned during 2021 that we're continuing now in 21-22 school year. So we're going to put it out there, and we're going to give options to folks. And then we're going to put those up on our YouTube channel featuring some sort of a catchy name. KG, I know that you're going to lose sleep over those, figuring out those catchy names.
I love the catchy names. I love hearing suggestions for those. So as anybody who's watching, again, from the thousands and thousands, send us those ideas. We'd love to hear those. As Jason mentioned, we're going to put out a poll on Twitter. So a couple of hashtags I'm sure you're already following, but hashtag Edmentum Illinois, hashtag Educator First, Jason's Twitter at JasonP_Eggert, my Twitter handle at Kevin Gallman1. We love to get your feedback. We've designed this channel to be a way for everyone to learn from one another, for us to learn, and we cannot wait to see what the fall brings, the rest of the summer. And we're thankful to you as viewers, and just for being along for the ride.